Guys, Karen here. I just wanted to make this video because I've been struggling a lot lately. Um, if any of you have watched any of my YouTube videos before, you will have known that I've been through an incredible weight loss journey. I actually just had skin removal surgery and was featured on Skin Tight on TLC season 3, episode 13. But it was nothing like I expected. It was better than I expected as far as my results, but then I had some major complications afterwards, and that's what I want to talk about today is my complications. This is what living with blood clots, PEs, looks like because I have absolutely no energy whatsoever. Hard to shower, hard to breathe, even just sitting here catching my breath talking to you guys. It's just been insane. I know that everybody's recovery is different. I'll kind of explain how I found out that I had PEs and then how I was diagnosed and kind of go from there. But I had a major body lift for TLC Skin Tight, like I said, on April 9th, 2018. My doctor did a full brachioplasty, so about a pound off of each arm, and it goes all the way down to my side. So a full brachioplasty with a breast lift and augmentation, and a full fleur-de-lis tummy tuck as well, all at the same time. She removed 15 pounds of skin, and I was in surgery for 11 hours. So that was a major surgery. I was in Houston for 2 weeks after that, recovering. And I was up quite a bit. I mean, I took myself to the bathroom. I would get up and sit at the table and eat. I'd walk down the hall at the hotel as much as I could. I'd walk around the hotel room as much as I could. But I was also down a lot too, given, I mean, I have yards and yards and yards of incisions on me. So it's kind of like, what's the happy medium? You know, how do you not get blood clots? Anyways, so I got home after the 2 weeks in Houston. I came home on a Monday. By that Friday, my left leg, I could not even bear weight on it. I was in so much pain, and I'm really naughty, guys. Don't do this. Don't do this. If you're like me, don't do it, especially when it comes to your health, because it's not worth it. I don't like to complain. And so for me to complain, it has to get to the point where it's excruciating and I can't handle it anymore. And that's how my leg got. It had been hurting in Houston, honestly. In my groin, it had been kind of bothering me. But I didn't know if that was because she had done a thigh lift into my fleur-de-lis tummy tuck. I was like, well, you know, I have an incision that's pretty low down there. Maybe that's why my thigh's hurting. But it was also a different pain than I had been experiencing. And so I should have listened to my body, because I did have that in Houston, and then I flew home. Probably not the smartest thing to get on a plane with that kind of pain. But I think at the same time, that's the least thing that you're expecting. You know, I've been through all of this. The last thing that's going to happen is I'm going to get a blood clot on top of it, right? Don't think that either, because you just never know. So luckily my mom's an RN, so she's a nurse. My husband was showering me, and I was like, babe, I can't even put weight on my calf anymore. And it was hurting. My calf was the last thing to hurt. My groin and my kind of thigh were hurting. Not as bad as my calf, but on Friday, once my calf really started hurting and I couldn't even put weight on it, my mom was like, that's it, we're going. And then she also noticed that I couldn't catch my breath. So like I would seriously walk from like the bathroom to the family room, which was, you know, 60 feet, and be like, and she's like, okay, how long has that been happening? I'm like, I don't know, because I haven't been up that often. I would seriously get up to go to the bathroom and go back to bed, and get up to shower and go back to bed. But I was relatively like in the same little area of the house. So yeah, I couldn't breathe either. So she took me to the ER, and the funny thing is that the filming crew was there to film my reveal for the show. And I had just gotten out of the hospital, and there was no way that I was ready for a reveal for the show. But they're there. They have a schedule. They have to do what they've got to do. And so my mom's like, I'm sorry. Her health is way more important than a show, and we're taking her to the ER just to see if she's okay. So the crew was like, okay, you know, whatever. Takes us to the ER, And I went in and had a little ultrasound on my leg. And, you know, the ultrasound tech's not supposed to say anything. They're not a doctor or anything. And she was so cute. She didn't say anything. All she said was, "I'm not supposed to say anything, but I'm so glad that you came." And that's all she said. She's like, "I'm just really glad that you came in today." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So then the doctor comes in. He's like, "Well, you do have a PE in your leg. It's from your ankle to your groin, or not a PE, sorry. You have a DVT, so a deep vein thrombosis from your ankle to your groin. It's your whole entire leg is clotted. Um, we are going to do a CT scan, but if it's just in your leg, we'll send you home. You'll be on blood thinners for a few months and you'll go home." I said, "Okay, great. That's going to be the best case scenario." He goes, "But we are going to do a CT scan, make sure that nothing's gone to your lungs, and just make sure you're all clear there. If it is in your lungs, then you have to stay." We're like, "Okay." So me and my mom are like, "It's not in my lungs, whatever, you know, we're going to get to go home and just finish filming and be done with the show and whatever." So I do a CT scan and the doctor comes back in and he goes, "So you never passed out, you never, nothing?" And we're like, no. And my mom's like, "Why?" And he goes, "Because her entire right lung is clotted and her left lung has all these little stars all over it. So that one was beginning to be clotted." They also didn't like how my heart was acting. I had some pretty bad hypertension or hyperpulmonary. I'm not a doctor, hyper something, because all of that clot from my leg has to travel through your heart to get into your lungs. So it's putting a lot of extra strain on your heart, pumping all that clot through into your lungs to settle there. So then he said, "Well, you're going to be here at least 5 days. Plan on 7, but at least 5. So I got admitted to the hospital. Shots of Lovenox in my tummy twice a day. Finally, the day before I was going to leave, they put me on Eliquis just to see how I would do on it, because they don't want to give you a brand new drug and then send you home and you have adverse effects. But I was in for 5 days with blood clots. That was April 27th. I went into the hospital. I was there for 5 days. Today's now June, 19th, and I am still just not myself. And I understand that I went through a huge body lift, so I had major surgery and also dealing with these blood clots. But these blood clots are knocking me on my butt. I am so fatigued. I am so tired all the time. I still have a lot of pain in my leg. Not as bad as it was. I mean, it's completely bearable now, but I do still have pains in my legs. My lungs have stabbing pains in them. I have a weird pain in my neck right here, like shoulder to neck. They say that that's something to do with it. But it kind of feels like a pulled muscle. I did try to go back to work last week and just work 4 hours a day, and I could not do it. I have a cold sore now because I was so stressed out. I think the thing that was frustrating to me is that I spent 5 days in the hospital, 1 in 3 people die from what I had. 1 in 3 people die. Like, that's not a joke. You don't mess with it. You don't, so 1 in 3 people die. You stay in the hospital for 5 days. I am now on Eliquis for at least 6 months of my life. And my doctors, they were amazing. They were amazing while I was in the hospital. However, they discharged me and said, have a great life. Nobody prepared me for what comes after living with a blood clot. Nobody prepared me for, you know what, you may not feel like yourself for 6 months to a year. You may not feel like yourself for 3 months. Everybody's different. We don't know, but you're probably really going to feel like crap for a while. Nobody told me that. Nobody prepared me for this. So I'm having a really hard time. I think mentally I'm getting really depressed. I'm exhausted all the time. Mentally, I want to go back to work so bad because I'm a workhorse. I love to work. And my body is just telling me, no way, man. Like, you can't. I swell up like James and the Giant Peach. I can't breathe. I'm exhausted. I came home from working 4 hours the first day and I took a 6-hour nap. Like, that shouldn't, like, I can't live my life like that right now. So I don't know. I'm just having a really hard time, and I have watched a few of your guys' videos online about recovering from pulmonary embolism and DVT, and it's really helped me feel not crazy. So if you're going through this and you feel like you're crazy, or you feel like you're never going to get better, or you feel like, holy cow, how long is this going to take? It takes a while, from what I've been told from my doctor and things. I'm really blessed because my doctor, my GP, my general practitioner that I see on a regular basis, his wife actually had blood clots too. And so he's like, it takes a while. Don't rush yourself. Like, she probably didn't feel good for a good 8 months, and that made me feel a little bit better. But at the same time, it's disheartening. You want to get back to your normal life. You want to, especially after all of the surgery that I just had, I want to work out. Like, I want to make my body look even better than it did before. Like, I want to do all of those things. And I just can't right now, and I need to be okay with that. So yeah, like I said, it's been crazy. If you guys want to watch my journey on TLC Skin Tight, I'll link the little video below. You can just go to tlc.com, or if you have a DVR, you can watch my journey there as well. But I'll be posting another video for my people that do follow me with the show, and show you my incisions and things, and kind of talk about the show a little bit more too if you're interested in that. But this one, I just really wanted to talk about my blood clots and the recovery from that, and that it's been so crazy hard. And if you're going through the same thing, you're not crazy. It just takes a long time. Just nobody really tells you that. And I don't know why. I really wish that doctors would, even disclaim it and say everybody's different. You could feel great in 3 weeks, but you could also feel like crap for 8 months, anyways. Have a great day. If you guys have any questions or anything, please comment below. I'm more than happy to talk or answer questions or share your story, so I still don't feel crazy, because I've just been so down on myself and so depressed and just wanting to get back to normal life. But thank you so much for listening, and I love you guys, and have a great day.